lot of people ask me, do you make dosas? Do you help in making the chutney or batter or whatever? Firstly, my mom is from this place called Davangere, and secondly, I think I have studied for 3 years in Davangere, wherein I was put into a boarding school because my parents felt that I was being a spoilt brat over here, and they threw me in the boarding school. But the boarding school shaped me. It was completely a change in Viren. I am a huge fan of non-vegetarian.
Wow.
When she told me that Viren can't cook anything, I made sure I cook it well. I heard that you guys have tried dosas
Oh, yes.
when I was not around.
Oh, yes, we have.
So you have come back because you love us
Yes.
and our dosas as well.
Yes, yes.
Quite a struggle. It's still a struggle, and I feel these are my testing times. I've done my hotel management from IIHM, which is in Indranagar, and I have this is a 3-year old course wherein we specialize in all the different departments like culinary, housekeeping, front office, and food and beverage. So I used to always be a food and beverage enthusiast, and somewhere here and there I used to try my luck at in the kitchen, and my chefs who used to teach me used to always say, "Oh, Viren cannot cook, Viren cannot cook." But I always used to try my luck, and the best thing I tried making at my college was during a food fest was Gajar ka halwa.
Wow.
Wherein I took the recipe from my mom and I took it as a challenge. I took it as a challenge. I wanted to prove the chef wrong. I always wonder why these people keep mocking me or whatever, but I just keep such things apart. And my dad always used to keep telling me that no work is small. So be ready to get your hands dirty in any circumstance. So off late also I have been making dosas, I make chutney, actually I won't be ashamed in saying also I'm ready to do the dishes when needed. I always used to have a day off, and I used to go and try these dosas, and one day I wanted to always make sure I have one of these outlets in Bangalore. So the thing is, I just started off with a cook from Davangere, and I never poked my nose and said, okay, let me learn this. I just kept watching him, how he mixes the batter, how he makes the chutney, how he makes this aloo ka palya, that's what we call. Basically, these dosas are soft, fluffy, and crispy. So it's the right ingredients what we are going to put in, and it's the fermentation. There's so many things involved. How to control the flame, when to give the tawa the heat, and there are certain tawas for this particular dosa. So I'll be very frank with you. Davangere is about 275 odd kilometers from here. Maybe I have tried getting butter from Davangere, and somewhere I felt I was being cheated, and they sell it in large containers. So upar what used to happen is the butter what they use in Davangere is white butter, and the butter what I use is it's normal Nandini butter. So there is a difference, about 10% difference, frankly speaking. But logistics were so far-fetched that I chose to stick on to Nandini, and I'm quite happy, and I think my customers haven't complained regarding the butter. Benne dosas are completely different from the other dosas what you get elsewhere. I would like to give you an example. See, the normal Darshini dosas, what they serve is completely different. For example, the ingredients what we use and the batter making process, and there are so many things which I think is different from our dosas. So many a people till date always ask me why your dosas take time. So my our dosas are taking time because we add 2 rounds of butter, and somewhere I feel because of the puffed rice what we use makes the dosa fluffy and raises it. When the dosa level raises, it takes time to cook. So after 2 rounds of butter, we also have to see how fluffy and how soft and how crispy the dosas are. Always my dad says we have to do up this place, we have to do up this place for to attract more people. So my way of thinking is different from what my dad feels. He says by doing up the place, I'll be adding in more customers. It must be true according to him, but according to me is a service and our food quality should be spot on to attract more and more people. And somewhere I feel why we could not have a better ambience is our establishment is based in such a place where the building itself is quite old. For example, it's about 40 years if I'm not wrong. And how many ever times I do up the place, I think it will just be good for probably 1 or max 3 months. And the walls are big. And I always wonder we should shift out of here to a better place, but I think I'll be losing out on a lot of people because I have people coming in from Sarjapur, Belendur. Maybe I think they've told me from Whitefield also people come.
Wow.
Just because of the traffic, they don't come in regularly. But the people who used to come thrice a week are coming monthly once. I'm more than happy.
Wow.
If they're traveling from such a distance for
Yeah.
such a distance
Yeah.
and they want to eat good dosas,
Yeah.
we are only on Zomato.
Okay.
But again, I would want to say that our dosas should be eaten
Yeah.
straight out of the tawa,
Yeah.
right straight out of the tawa and hot.
Yeah.
Even maybe 3 minutes later, the dosas won't taste as good as
Yeah.
they are right off the tawa.
Yeah.
The day I don't do good business, I am a little disturbed. Not because I've not earned that day's money or anything. It's just that always keeps sticking in my mind saying, why people are not having such good dosas. I don't think vegetarian would be my last option for my last meal, okay? But still, somewhere I would want to have one good pudi dosa which I myself have invented over here at
Wow.
our outlet, which is actually a secret pudi powder.
So the other outlets that run by the name of Davangiri Bene Dosa, their recipe of pudi is not what we get here.
Exactly.
And I think that's why it tastes definitely different. Me, myself, I'm from Patna. The version of dosa I know is very different from the version we get here in Bangalore. And I love the Bangalore wala version, by the way. So now when people from Bihar, from Delhi, from Punjab, or the Northeast are coming here, have you received any kind of comments or compliments or remarks from them which has stood out for you?
We have a good clientele of people from the northern part of India. So nothing offensive, but the northern part of India do not know about benne dosas. So firstly, they don't know what is benne.
Yeah,
Benne in
yeah.
Kannada, in English, is butter.
Yeah.
So they always think that they actually haven't tried to differentiate between a normal dosa and a benne dosa. So I come across a lot of people. I think not as of now, off late, I haven't come across a lot of people because most of the people from the northern part of India are in and around Kormangla or wherever they're coming. They're quite regulars over here, and I feel they don't even look at a menu now. And I also, I don't know whether it's right on my part to say this. As soon as I see the customer who's walking in near the gate, I know what their order is going to be, and I
Wow.
tell my cook, okay, it's a double masala, go ahead. And I know they won't change their order because they have tried all our dosas and they're a fan of our benne masalas.
I think that's a beautiful point that you know exactly what the customer is going to order when you see them walking here. That talks a lot about customer experience in general, right?
Exactly.
Now, when it comes to putting a team together for running a business, right? Do you think they understand the concept of customer experience, or whatever they're doing here, whatever you have trained them for, whatever they're doing for the customers here, it's coming from their heart, and they do not really care about, you know, these concepts in general, such as ratings, reviews? Why do they matter?
I always keep telling my staff everyone has a bad day, and once you wake up in the morning, if you're not in a good mood, or if you had a tiff with your parents, or you're just having a headache maybe, or you're going through something, never show that in your work. Maybe talk to me, talk to my wife, talk to my mother, talk to my father, who's part of this family, part of this journey. Make sure the customer who comes in has a good meal, has a good experience, thorough enjoyment, and walks out with a smile rather having a frown on the face.
Lovely, lovely. And Viren, you've been in the States, you've worked there as well, right? So, what do you see? What kind of differences do you see when it comes to a restaurant or a cafe, or you know, the attitude of people who are serving food as well as those who are having food in a restaurant? What kind of similarities or differences do you perceive?
I would say there are not much of similarities, but so I myself have served a lot of people in the States. So I used to work at a national park. So national park is visited by most of the people from different countries.
Yeah.
So I used to deal with Europeans, Americans,
Yeah.
the people from England, and there are so many people who I used to deal with, and they talk to the servers, maybe the guy who's into the housekeeping. They treat and they see each and every person equally, where that lacks in our country. We have to never look down upon a person who even does the vessels, cleans our tables, and whoever may be making our coffee, making our dosa. Sagar, who is making chutney, and Ashok, who's making dosa, should be treated equally.
Yeah.
I don't like differentiation because they might feel low, or somewhere they would say, oh, the boss is trying to pamper the chef who's making the dosa, and he's not. There are so many instances wherein it's happened in the past. I learned from it. So one message I would like to send is, stay out of this differentiation. Treat everybody equally. So this is what India is a little behind in seeing people in like designations.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
don't judge people on their work.
Right, and I think that brings me to another question, Viren, and this is not related to food business or hospitality in general. Now, a lot of people from the north, I do not refer to them as North Indians for a reason or South Indians for a reason, because I believe we are all Indians. Now,
Yes.
that is my perspective, right? Now, when we come to a city like Bangalore and when we experience situations where, a random auto wale bhaiya or maybe a delivery wale bhaiya asks us or sometimes says in a controlling language that we must learn Kannada. That is one part of the story. And sometimes there are people who are very kind to us and they say that, if you learn a little bit of Kannada, it will make us happy. So, what are your thoughts on this?
Actually, not right to say, oh, this person has to speak in a local language, or maybe if you're in a conversation with an auto driver or a bus conductor or maybe, for example, a cashier at a restaurant, a South Indian restaurant who's having a Kannada speaking, it's not right on his part. For example, the customer is trying to converse with him in Hindi. He doesn't have the right to talk to them in Kannada because they might feel he's trying to be rude. For example, I have my staff who I'm pretty sure cannot converse in Hindi, where that I cannot change.
Yeah.
I cannot sit and try to teach them Hindi, but rather than that, I intervene and make sure I talk to them in Hindi, and ultimately it's about hospitality. And when they come in, they should be comfortable and they should not be in a fix saying, oh, what am I going to ask these people, what am I going to order. And you should make sure you have spent 2 minutes extra, however busy you are, in giving them the right dosa. And maybe, for example, we have a benne dosa single concept, benne dosa double. A lot of people would think that double meaning double butter.
Yeah.
It's not double butter.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
double is 2 dosas.
Yeah.
So you should always make it clear that if maybe the person who walks in for the first time would want to order 2 dosas, but I myself have told them, if you are doubting the size of our dosas or the taste or whatever, order one. If you like, we will always give you another dosa, but do not think that we are trying to give you a double and earn more money. So, end of the story is, we should always not be hell-bent on wanting them to talk in our local language. It's khali dosa.
Khali dosa.
Yes.
So I see it's 70 rupees here,
Yes.
right? I remember having the same thing. I won't mention the restaurant. I remember having the same thing for 350 rupees.
Okay.
Now, a price point like this is extremely affordable. Do you think it's fair for, asking people like 400 rupees for something that can be, that is available at this price point, and is running this business at this price point a challenge for you?
Raghav Chadda, he's a AAP MP,
Yeah.
Aam Aadmi Party
Yeah,
MP,
yeah.
who's brought up this issue in the parliament. He's written to the Prime Minister, he's written to the Home Minister, he's written to the various ministers saying at the airport the food is become so expensive that Aam Aadmi are not able to afford. The person who's flying should not fly with an empty stomach. Of course, they can opt for a meal in the flight
Yeah.
on board.
Yeah.
But coming to the question what you have asked me is, there's no point in keeping your price very exorbitant and trying to charge the people or fool the people, because whatever ingredients I use for making our batter is not that expensive and it's not that cheap.
Yeah.
This is why I've kept it. So at our place, the khali dosa is the most affordable thing a person can have, because there's no butter which goes in,
Yeah.
and it's just a dash of oil which
Yeah.
goes in.
good food should be more and more accessible, right?
Yes.
For everyone. Talking about the different age groups of customers, you must be getting young people, middle-aged people, senior citizens. Um, what is it that you have observed in these groups of people? What do you think really picks them? If there's a young person having food at your outlet, what is it that you feel is different about them than an old man having food at your place?
We have people of different age groups walking in every day, maybe during the weekend, and I would also like to say that the senior citizens have mood swings, so I always make sure their food doesn't get delayed
Yeah.
because they're old, they get cranky, and maybe someone is a diabetic, or there are so many people who come request us that please can you fasten our dosas, can
Yeah.
you, because we are diabetic, and etc etc. But end of the day I have to make sure I serve each and everybody. I cannot differentiate, and there are so many times wherein my friends walk in and my relatives walk in and my sister walks in to have a dosa. I always say first come first serve. I cannot differentiate saying, oh, it's my sister, I need to give her the dosa first. Oh,
Business is business.
Business is business. And
Yeah.
very recently, 3-4 days back, I had a group of people from the police, and they were in a hurry and they were saying they were to go back to duty, which is, I think, a night duty is a tight schedule for them. But at the third table, I had a people of, I think, 6 people were there, and both the group walked in together. So I made a mistake that day by giving them the dosas first, but I requested the people at the third table saying maybe I should give them first and then, but they got offended and they walked away. That's a different part. Every day is learning, so
Yeah.
we face such challenges every day. So clientele handling is very important.
But do you feel customer is the king? Or do you think the concept is too far-fetched now?
Of course, without customers, there's no point in opening our doors, making. But somewhere here and there, we get customers who are not happy, no matter what. However good, I take care of them. Maybe I show them extra love. And that's a different part, but we have to do our job. End
Yeah.
of the day.
Yeah, I totally get it. And anything that you feel people outside the industry do not understand about the food business and you would want them to know?
So many people who complain about our palya. Palya is the
The potato
sabji what we serve.
Yeah.
So with a normal masala dosa where we get it in any other Udupi hotels, they flavor it.
Yeah,
They
right,
add turmeric.
right.
They add a tadka.
Yeah.
Wherein our palya is just boiled potato, boiled onion,
Yeah.
and we add a little bit of salt and use the stock to flavor it. We don't add any tadka. So I think the person who is questioning our way of making the palya should know, okay, benne dosa is served everywhere around India like this. I like to say these dosas are different from what the other dosas are, and the chutney and the palya is very, very different from the other dosas.
That is true. That is true. And it's good. Like, I loved it totally. I have to mention it again and again. Any heartwarming experience you would like to share with us, which you have had while visiting some other restaurant in some part of the country or outside India. And it has left a deep impression in your heart and mind. Like you carry that memory, very strongly.
When I was in the States, so we walked into a restaurant where I think it must be Denny's. So they were shutting. Were almost closing down their shutters, and when I got off work it was quite late, and I was being too lazy to go back, cook, and I was too tired. So I was a regular at Denny's, and so I just went, parked my car, and I just maybe signaled him saying closed. He just said this, and he said this next. I said like this, because there was a door between us,
Yeah.
and he was from inside. He was trying to talk to me.
Yeah.
I would say this sign language is time consuming. Let me walk in. There's nothing wrong in walking in.
Yeah.
I had to just bend and go in, and I said, "Can I just get something to eat?" He said, "There's nothing which I can provide off the menu, but I can give you my staff food." So that was quite heartwarming, and I could not deny, though it was quite boring for me. I said maybe we can share it. I don't mind sharing it with you.
Yeah.
So we probably shared the meal, and he went home, and I drove back to my place. And the lesson what I learned was, there are so many times here, once we close our gates, there are people saying, "One dosa, please, one dosa." So it's not something where I have it's not a biryani or something wherein I can just heat it up or say, okay, I'm going to heat it up and give it to you.
Yeah.
The tawa itself, once it's become a little cold, to heat it up it takes easily 20 minutes, because our tawa is customized and it's quite thick. So 20 minutes and still it's not so hot, because the dosas don't come out well, the color, the crispness, and maybe he might be ready to wait for 20 minutes for a dosa, but I cannot say, yeah, sit down and give him the dosa, because there's so many things. We are short on chutney, we are short on palya, and my staff have worked the whole day, and I myself might be tired. I would, with a smile, say, "Sir, sorry, I can give you the same dosa the next day, please come in."
You took us through your journey. You helped us understand what this place means, and it's not just a regular cafe. There is so much more than just the dosas on the menu. It's your ideas, it's your inspiration, it's the kind of values that you are bringing into this place, the values that you have, taken from your family, from your parents, from your wife. So it's been amazing, absolutely amazing listening to you. Like, when in Bangalore, at every 10 steps there is a cafe, I feel that this place stood out for me, and that is the reason why I'm here and trying to understand your story. So thank you so much, Viren, for joining me, and it was absolutely lovely listening to you today.
Same here, my pleasure, and always welcome you again, and looking forward to serve you some amazing dosas. Maybe the next time you both walk in, I might make the dosa and give it to you.
Wow,
and maybe I might not make it as quick as my cook, but definitely it'll be the same dosa.
That's so sweet. Thank you so much.